Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. This is Jan Roberts from the Key Leadership Institute, and today I would like to talk a little bit about values. As the title says as well, values-based living. And it's actually the foundation for building a successful life and business. Now, the reason values came to mind, I did a whole series about self-care, and I thought this was equally important in all our lives. I mean, we only have to look around ourselves and see what is happening around the world at the moment. And somebody once said, the reason leadership is failing around the world is because of a lack of values. Now, I'm not talking about these wonderful values that are on the wall of big corporates and all that kind of stuff, where most of the corporate people don't even exactly know what those values were. They were decided in a small office, and most of the people don't even buy into them. But much more about basic human values. Integrity, honesty, transparency, decency, right attitude, developing people, developing yourself. There is so many connection, hope, restraint, forgiveness. All those kind of values that somewhere along the line we all know about them. But we see so many of them broken right in front of our very eyes. And I'm not just talking about what's happening right now, because right now all what is happening is that it's come to the surface, something that has been festering in our society for such a long time. So I thought, well, as a values-based leadership specialist, me and my partner Arthi and my wife Arthi, both are values-based leadership specialists. And it is not to teach values, by the way. It is actually a reawakening of the awareness, I call it, of values. Because when we've heard about honesty, when we've heard about hope, when we've heard about respect, we've all heard about these kind of values and forgiveness, but do we really know what they mean? Do we really honestly live them? That's more to the point. Because at the moment we can point at all kinds of places. We talk about xenophobia, about all kinds of issues, from hunger to destruction of entire economies, and there are so many issues around the world, so many injustices around the world. And I see also just now another new values-based leadership specialist from Pakistan, the first and only one in Pakistan, Rafia, has joined us as well, who's doing amazing stuff in Pakistan with values. But the thing is, for me, I get really passionate about positively impacting people, and we're not going to do that by talking about all the negative things that are actually in this world. We're not going to do that. That's why I also, rather than keep talking about all the injustices that are going on right in front of us, and most people, whether they want to see it or don't want to see it or don't see it, I don't know. But I mean, that is beside the point at the moment. And I think the one thing we can do is help people get better themselves. Because we can complain about everything that's wrong with our lives. We can look around ourselves and blame everybody. I call it blamestorming about what is wrong with our lives. You need to hear yourself when you do that. What is wrong with our lives? So does that mean that it's everybody else's fault? Now we keep blaming other people, but the only person that can ensure that tomorrow will be better is the person looking in the mirror. So if we can do something today to improve ourselves, and this is also to do with personal development. I've done a few courses on personal development because I think it's so important. People keep asking me what is one thing that will really make sure that you walk into your purpose and you reach at least towards your destiny. For me and many others, it is very simple: personal growth. You need to grow everything, because it's not a one-day thing, it's an everyday thing. But one of the things in that personal development is realizing your intrinsic values, realizing what you stand for, because if you don't stand for anything, you fall for everything. And for me, it is so important that we talk much more about what values will do for you in your life. There is nothing bad comes from in your life if you only start doing good things, or if you become more aware of the things that are wrong in your life. We're all human, we all make mistakes, but once we become aware of them, then we can call them experience and make sure that we become better prepared for tomorrow. Because if we evaluate, as another value, evaluate at the end of the day the things we did right, the things we did wrong, the things we need to improve, and the things we need to get rid of, then surely into tomorrow, provided we are waking up in the morning and that therefore be blessed and highly favored when we do, that means that tomorrow we can walk into life more prepared. That's what experience does. But then let's look at values. Do you know what your values are? And I'm not talking what you value, like your family, your electronics, your beautiful car and all that. No, what are your intrinsic values? What are really important values for you that you will never compromise? Integrity, honesty, transparency. Is it your attitude, your positive attitude? Is it developing people? Is it the fact that you have forgiveness in your heart every single day? Is it that you've got restraint, especially when we're in lockdowns, when we're so closed in on top of each other that sometimes we say things out of anger and out of frustration that we wish we hadn't said, and therefore the value of forgiveness comes after that? Is it your self-esteem? Is it the fact that you not only have hope, but that you provide hope for others? Because Napoleon said many years ago, like, leaders are sellers of hope. What are you selling? You can't sell anything like that if you haven't got it. So what is hope all about? These are many of the questions, and also how can we develop those values on a daily basis to make sure that we get better? Now, that is the very reason that the values-based leadership process, which is transforming entire countries, and I can talk all day about this, and I want you to help, and hopefully with what I'm going to do over the next weeks is take a value every single day and briefly talk into that value, and then give you an idea on some of the steps to follow for you to get better in that value. Now, the slogan for this whole process is transformation begins with me. Yeah, you might have heard that, and it says, be the change you want to see in the world. You might have definitely heard that one. Now, that talks into this, because to be the change, you need to change. And don't leave it to choice. Don't leave it to chance. Make it a choice, because, change is inevitable. The way you change is optional, and you've got a choice. And let's stop complaining. Let's put everything away, and let's also talk into this. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one single step. Let's take a step together every single day when we start talking about what values can do in your life. And people of values value people. So let's all become people of value, and let's not look at the governments. Let's not look at the corruption, the manipulation, the lying, and the deceit that is happening all around us all the time. Let us become better people. Let us become even better tomorrow than we were today, and that takes living the values. That's why values-based living is what the next weeks are going to be about, and I hope you're going to join me, and I hope you're going to take that step to make values your solid foundation, and let us transform our beautiful countries. By how are we going to do that? By transforming our lives, by helping transform our families, by helping transform our community, and one family, one community, one company at a time, and together we are so much stronger. The time to stop blaming and stop complaining and looking for others for a solution is done. It starts now. It's over. Let's forget about that. Let's not do that anymore, because there is no value in that. You're only destroying yourself. The time to start taking charge of our lives and build the lives of those around us starts now. Today, the 6th of June. Let's promise each other, let's look in the mirror and say, yes, today I am going to make sure that my life is going to be better, that I'm going to do something about me so I can positively impact other people better. Together we can do this. Together we're stronger, but we need to do this, and we need to become active participants in our own lives first. We need to be, rather than be complacent and be negative observers and sit on the balconies and say, oh, that's wrong. No, let's make things right, one thing at a time. And the one thing we can change, I cannot change other people. I've got enough problems changing myself, that person looking in the mirror every morning, but I'm doing my best, and I hope you join me on that journey by you doing your best. That journey starts now. And I hope you will be with us over the next weeks, when every day I will take one value and I will start talking into it, so you get a better idea, not only what that process, what you see all these values behind me, not just what all these values are exactly about, but that together we're starting to learn more about the different values, become more aware, and become better in this. So forget about everything else, forget about the other people, stop blaming, start living, start improving your own lives. And I would look forward to you joining me on that journey tomorrow. And I look forward to that. And remember, I know with Transformation Lebanon, with people in the Middle East, with people in Pakistan, and people in South Africa, and people in Guatemala, and Paraguay, and Costa Rica, and all these kind of countries. They're living these values. They're transforming their countries together. Together we are so much stronger. So let's start changing our lives together, and by doing so, we will change the lives around us. Transformation begins with me. Join me on this journey, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.